My name is Debbie Diaz, and this is Andres Diaz with the Diaz Group at eXp Realty. We get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you, and we absolutely love it. Whether you are looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can help you make that smooth move to Florida.
If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications to be the first to get the market updates on buying that new home. So today we decided to stay in the office
because it's cold outside.
Really, and give you an informative video on the process of buying a new home. Now, some of you may be first-time home buyers. Some of you may have bought several homes, but maybe it's been several years, and the process has changed and does change quite often. The first thing I want to lead with is we're going to be following a little bit on this book here of our buyer consultation. And the first thing that I want to lead with is the opening sentence here. Based on a recent U.S. study, the average renter of the United States has a net worth of just over $5,000, while the average homeowner has a net worth of just over $230,000. Folks, if you're renting, you're throwing money in the garbage. The first way and the simplest way to wealth is by purchasing a home. It somewhat forces us to save.
Yeah.
You're gonna put that down payment, that's gonna be saved. You're gonna make monthly payments, which are gonna be principal and interest, most of it going to interest in the first few years.
Yeah.
But some of it is going to that principal balance.
Right. So eventually the equity is just going to keep building and building without you putting in money into savings. So again, it's not a step that you're having to do, it's just going to happen naturally in that process.
Average equity throughout the United States is 4% per year. So by that alone, you're making 4% a year. And actually, I want to say that our area is ranging between 6 and 7% per year. So anyways, let's get to it. You're interested in buying a home. What do you do next?
Call us.
That's right. Look in the description below. Feel free to call us, text us, reach out to us, because we want to let you know what the first step is. First, we want to find out, what are you looking for? That may sound simple, but we don't read minds. We would love to sit with you and find out exactly what you're looking for. What's your dream home? What's your price range?
What's motivating you to be in that particular area? Surroundings, schools, access to beaches, things like that. So we want to know what your motivation is.
Are you looking to do this in 1 month, 6 months, a year? We need to know that. How many bedrooms? So we need the criteria to make sure that we're narrowing down something that is exactly what you're looking for. You could go out there and look at 300 homes, or we can go out there and look at 5 homes that have the criteria of what you're looking for and really pin that down before we go just spinning our wheels. After that, we have a list of preferred lenders you want to get pre-approved.
Most definitely. A lot of people come in with a mindset of, we want a house that's $500,000, and we start looking at homes that are $500,000, and then they start the process of securing financing and find out we can only get approved for, let's just say, $380,000. So we've just wasted X amount of days or weeks looking at homes that you didn't qualify for, or you might even find out you qualify for $700,000. Not necessarily that you want to go that high, but some people just don't have an idea of where they may land.
Not every home lends itself to financing from every type of loan. So that's another thing. Before we go out and look at a loan, go out and look at a house, did you pre-qualify or get approved for a conventional loan or a VA loan or a FHA loan, USDA loan? certain houses will not get approved for all of them. So let's make sure what it is that you're approved for, then let's narrow that search down, and we're gonna go look at homes that actually qualify. Having that pre-approval, and I like pre-approvals, I don't like pre-qualifications. A pre-qualification might be what you do on the internet,
Yeah.
click in a couple buttons, they're gonna send you a little pre-qualification, and then you're gonna get excited, you're gonna do all these things, and a lot of those never convert to a true pre-approval.
Right,
So
because once a lender gets started, they're gonna start asking for financials.
2 years tax returns, last 2 months bank statements, anything 401k, retirement funds, any assets that you have. It's gonna take you a while to put all this stuff together. So the earlier you start, the better. Again, we have a list of approved lenders that can kind of save you quite a bit of money. We have found that some of your large institutional bankers are very hard to deal with, to work with.
Especially on the weekends.
Yes.
If you're working, with a big bank that, let's say it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and most people are doing their house shopping when? On the weekends. So it's hard to get a lot of answers on the weekend when those big institutions are closed and you're doing your
or today you have Sally at extension 202 and tomorrow you have John at extension 340, and it makes it difficult. We need to put you with a lender that is going to communicate with you, communicate with us, and get us what we need, not just a pre-qualification, get us a pre-approval. Let's make this solid. Let's make sure that when we put your offer together, they know that lender, that our group, we're putting together offers that are backed, that are locked up, that they're going to close. Not one of these that are just from online that...
Right, so what I did want to mention is a lot of times when you're online looking at different loans, they may not be even remotely close to Florida. So with lenders that are familiar with this area, they're going to have different programs that perhaps a credit union or a bank cannot offer. We have a few right now, like the Hometown Heroes program here in Florida, which goes out for nurses, dental assistants, police, firemen.
Up to $25,000?
Up to $25,000 that they'll give in down payment assistance. And you could literally come to the closing table with zero out of pocket. There's also another program called Florida Bond Program. And I'm just saying that there's programs that are just going to be local to this area or Florida that maybe somebody else can't offer you. So just make sure you're not doing something quickly online without checking with us first.
So now we have the criteria of the home you're looking for. We know exactly what your dream home is. We have that pre-approval in our hands, which is like...
you can afford it.
You know you can afford it. You know you can afford it. You have that money in your pocket, if you will. Does you no good, you go out and find a house and it takes you 5 days to get pre-approved and that house sold. So you're ready to go. We're looking at houses.
Yes, and when we look at houses and find the one we love, we are
ready to make that offer, right? We make that offer. We're going to talk to you. How do you feel about the house? We're going to run comparables. We're going to do the 555 program. We're going to run what 5 houses are active around that home that you're looking for that are comparable. What 5 houses are pending under contract that are comparable to the one that you want to buy, and what for the last 5 that sold comparable to the one you make. And then we're going to see what, this is how this house is priced. Some people call me, right, and they'll say, hey, what do you think the market is? What the average house can go down, how much can we go down from the offering price? Well, you really don't know that until you make your study, right? You don't know if the house is priced aggressively, that you need to move on it quickly. You don't know if that house is way overpriced, that it's never going to appraise no matter if you want to pay for it or not. You're not going to get it financed unless you're going to cover that appraisal gap, right? So let's use that 555 method and we'll let you know, hey, this is what we feel that your offer should be at. And there's other things other than the number, the price that you're offering, that can make your offer a lot stronger. Or what type of inspection are you doing? What's the timeline of the inspection?
Are we doing a high escrow deposit? Most of the time, typical is 1% of the cost of the home.
You could be as aggressive. It's all going to be a risk reward. So how can we make that offer strong in the seller's eyes?
Can we do a quick close? Just things like that will definitely take precedence when you're making that offer. And let's say there's a few others that they're comparing with yours, and you say, hey, we can close in 21 days. We're going to make a second escrow deposit after finishing our inspection. Things like that, that's just going to make your offer stand out compared to the rest.
So now you use a group of agents that are known in the area that have a reputation. You use a lender that's known in the area that has a reputation, and you write up a well-written offer that makes sense, that the numbers are in place to give you the best opportunity. Offer gets accepted. So your offer gets accepted. What happens now? Well, automatically we're going to send your contract over to the lender, get him working. So your documents are going to go through an underwriting process.
And they're going to be calling you, asking you for things.
For more documents and what have you.
More things.
But if we did our job right from the get-go, it's going to relieve the stress, and that lender should already have everything in his hands, right?
Not always, though.
Not always.
They can keep coming
There might be
back.
another bank statement that are already released. There might be another pay stub or two that are already released. So there's things they're going to ask for, no doubt about it. But we have a solid offer. We have it accepted. Your lender has that contract in his hands. He's going to start doing his underwriting process. He's going to start talking to an appraisal, getting the appraiser ready to come do the appraisal. Before they do that, we'll be working with you, giving you a list of our preferred inspectors. You can use any one you'd want to use, but we have some that we prefer that we've used in the past that we know that do a good job.
And depending on the home, you may want to do a termite inspection, a regular inspection, a 4-point inspection, wind mitigation to get discounts on your homeowner's insurance. If the property has a well, you may want to have the water tested for contaminants.
We need to have it tested to get your loan approved.
Yes.
Septic tanks.
And that's also why we're going back to, it really depends on what type of loan, because VA is super strict. They're going to require septic, well, all those testings, termite, wood destroying organisms, whereas conventional is going to be
nowhere near as strict.
A lot more lenient. So if you didn't want to do an inspection, you don't have to. If you feel pretty confident, like I've built homes in the past, I can look at the roof, AC, plumbing, electrical, things like that, and you don't want to, and you want to forgo that inspection, conventional is going to lean itself that way, to where it's just not quite as
although that could be the worst $500 you ever save in your life. But anyways, now we got that offer done. We go under contract. We did the inspection. If we see any major issues in that inspection report, we can renegotiate those issues. We can see if we're going to decide at that point whether we're going to move forward or we're not going to move forward.
Or if we can ask the seller
to fix this or fix that, right? So we're good, right? Let's just say we are getting past the inspection report. We found this house. The house is absolutely perfect, or our risk tolerance is allowing us to accept whatever minor one outlet that didn't work or
window that doesn't
go up and down.
Things.
So we're going to go forward. Now is when that appraiser comes out and checks out the house and makes sure that you're paying for the home as in value, or that at least you know that you're not, and you want to cover anything that may be above. The title company is also doing their job at this time.
Oh, yes.
Are there any liens on this home? They're going to send a survey crew out. Are there any encroachments on this home? They're going to make sure there's any bills, anything making this title not clean.
Did the previous owner not pay his HOA fees?
Yeah.
Or
was there a sinkhole here before?
Right.
Things like that. Now they're going to get all that done. Your appraisal comes back, so a lot of things are moving, right?
Right, behind the scenes, lots of things are happening.
Your appraisal comes back, and let's just say it's $1 or above the contract price. Beautiful. We're moving forward. You're under contract. You're at price or at price or above, we're moving forward with this contract. If you're $1 lower or more, we may be able to renegotiate. We may be able to get that savings down, or you may really like this home and you're going to say, you know, if it is what it is, I'm going to pay that difference, and you want to move forward. So that gets back to the lender. He gets all his paperwork done, and sends that. Once he's got that package approved by underwriters, he sends that package over to the title company. They're going to balance out. They're going to make sure all the fees are correct. They're going to make sure their survey fees in there, your appraisal fees in there, and it was done correctly. Doc stamps. They're going to get you a title policy, making sure that that title is clean and clear, and you're not going to have any issues the day you want to sell this property. So everything's good to go. Now they're going to send you the settlement documents. You're going to have a chance to review all the numbers before you go to closing. You're going to review all the numbers, make sure that your escrow deposit was applied correctly, your loan amounts was applied correctly, your interest rate that they promised you is in there correctly.
And they have to give you these documents how many days?
Minimum 3 days prior to closing.
Yes.
So you're going to get these minimum 3 days prior to closing. We're going to now, it's closing day.
Day before.
Day before closing day or closing day, we're going to go back out to the house and we're going to do a final walkthrough.
We're going to make sure they didn't leave with the stove, the refrigerator, AC still working. We're going to make sure that this house looks just like it did when we walked through and viewed it.
It's not an inspection.
No.
We're just making sure that they didn't take the appliances
Right. I mean, their personal items should be out of the house definitely by this point.
Broom, it only needs to be broom swept. They don't have to do a true deep cleaning, although we find that most sellers do. We're good.
Once you sign off,
we're going to sign off on that final inspection, and we're going to head over to the title company. This is the fun part. This is where you're going to sit down and really start signing your life away. Now, you're actually going to start signing to earn your wealth. You're actually going to start signing to make that big move and purchase this home, right? You're gonna see all those documents that they sent you at least 3 days prior. They're going to review them all with you, make sure you understand them, and you're going to sign your mortgage and your closing documents. That's when you get the key.
that is.
You're gonna get the key that day. Now you gotta make sure your utilities under your name and the home is yours. And then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna say what a great experience you had, and you're gonna let us know who your friend is that's going to buy a house next.
Or sell.
Yeah,
because we do both.
So that was the real brief explanation of the buying process from start to finish. There's a lot more that goes into it, and a lot more detail and depth that goes into each step, if you will. But again, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, make sure you get our contact information in the description below. Reach out to us.
Any questions?
We would love to help you or your family member make that smooth move
to Florida. We want to help with that process and make it easy for you and let us do all the heavy lifting. We hope to see you around town.